everyone. This is Pamela Topjian with another episode of Holistic Connections, Conversations with Holistic Practitioners. And today we have Valarie, and I'm so excited to hear everything that you've got to share with us. So if you could please introduce yourself and then share what you do in the holistic healing world, please.
My name is Valarie. I have my own business. I call it Illuminate Peace Healing.
Yeah.
I chose that name because I always love the idea where peace and harmony and joy is always there, even when the room looks dark. So you just need to illuminate the peace and illuminate the joy. So it's not creating something new. It's just shining a light on something that's already there.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So I do a few different things. So some of
Mhm.
the things I do life coaching, spiritual counseling, intuitive readings, and energy healing. And I also work with the Enneagram, which is an
Mhm.
ancient personality typing system.
Yeah. So for people that might not know what energy healing is or anything about what you do, if they don't know what it is or Reiki, can
Mhm.
you please explain that to people who might not have any idea what that is
Yeah.
or what to expect?
Usually, with energy healing, I just kind of tune into the person's energy field. Everybody has like an energy field around them, and look for imbalances and see if there's anything that is there that shouldn't be there that could be moved out, or if there's something that's needing to be there, I could kind of send it over. I'm not actually creating anything that's not already in the person. So
Mhm.
it's basically just saying hello to the person's energy body so they can create those things themselves.
Oh, I love that. And that goes along with the name of your business. You're illuminating the light and that's already there, not creating something. Yeah, I love that. So great. So, what can people expect when they come to see you or when they first reach out to you? How do you then decide what service they may need or how does that work?
Well, assuming somebody doesn't reach out to me for something specific, I will just do an intake with them and talk to them and see what they are looking for, um, their personality, like what feels right for them. Some people might not be open to something like energy healing or intuitive reading, but they might be open to life coaching and counseling. So I feel that out for people. And sometimes I do mix things together a little bit. Like if I'm doing life coaching or counseling, if I get something intuitive, I will say it. But I do work with people's belief systems and comfort level as well.
Yeah, that's great. So, is it one-on-one always, or do you do any kind of group sessions? And is it in person or online or both, or how is that?
So I do mostly one-on-one, and it's both online and in person.
Mm.
Even energy healing you can do on Zoom because time and space doesn't really exist. You could just imagine that person right there in front of you, and it works just the same. So I do both online and in person. I facilitate support groups here and there, which is the only thing I do in groups. I mostly do a grief group. I might expand that and do some more support groups as well.
Yeah.
But generally it's a one-on-one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, isn't it amazing how even through the internet you can work with somebody's energy? It's
Mhm.
amazing to me, but it's so true. I've experienced it myself for sure. That's amazing. And are people usually leery of that? Do they think they need to see an energy healer in person? Am I really gonna feel any effects or any changes through through the internet?
Yeah, every now and then somebody's a little bit skeptical about it,
Hmm.
but I think most people, I think if they're drawn to energy healing, that they kind of get that. It's not going to matter if you're um,
Yeah.
right in front of you or across the globe. So I think most people who reach out to an energy healer are open to that, but every now and then people would be like, "Oh, I'd rather have something in person that's going to be more effective."
Hmm. Yeah. So you're a coach and a counselor as well. So have you ever found that somebody reaches out to you for maybe just more traditional coaching or counseling, and then they learn of these other things that you are able to offer, do they then express that curiosity and maybe they want to do more than just the counseling or coaching?
Yeah, from time to time that they do like it, but I've noticed that often people stay kind of in their category
Mhm.
depending on what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
Somebody is just wanting a life coach will generally just stay in that category. Oftentimes with people who are seeking life coaching, they are also looking for answers, so maybe
Yeah.
going into intuitive reading as well. But I think a lot of times people will just kind of go, I this is what I need right now, this is what I want right now, and they'll stay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how did you first become interested in learning these things and offering these things?
Kind of been a process. I learned about Reiki like about 20 years ago, but it's like it took me a little bit of time to get trained in it. But
Mhm.
I just loved how humble the person was. Like I saw something there, like um, talking to a Reiki practitioner, and I just loved her humility and how her warmth and how she's
Mhm.
wanting to connect and help the other person, and how much that affected the quality of her healing.
Yeah,
And
nice.
yeah, and with life coaching, I kind of just ended up in that because I went to the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts just to
Right.
do a general healing practitioner, and then I don't think I even really knew that much about life coaching, and but I actually really love that one, and it's one of my favorite things to do
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
life coaching really is about like the here and now and going into the future, and counseling is more kind of looking about what you have in the past. Um, I do more spiritual counseling, so some things are out of my scope of practice, but most things that you can do with spiritual counseling, because really at the core of a lot of so many of these problems are the soul and the spirit. So like there's something an imbalance there that needs to be solved and corrected.
Yeah, yeah. So, what are the misconceptions that people come to you with? Or do people ever come to you and say, oh, well, I heard this about, spiritual guidance or spiritual coaching, or I heard this about Reiki, or what are some of the misconceptions that you hear more often?
I think with Reiki, people are expecting to have like fireworks, and it's supposed, I come in with pain, and the pain's gonna be gone at the end. I think Reiki is has such a subtlety to it. Sometimes you do feel like heat or tingling.
Mhm.
Sometimes you do feel things, but often you don't. And I think that is more of a misconception where people think that they're going to feel something really big, and it's often very small, but very powerful
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Is it usually just one session or is it multiple sessions or how do you usually determine that?
With life coaching, I do multiple sessions often because somebody's trying to work through something big in their life, and then when they're ready to move on, they will. With intuitive guidance, often it's like a session. Maybe I'll see them in a few more months for another session because it's often a particular question that they're looking for clarity on. Same
Yeah,
thing with Reiki because it's going to vary a little bit depending on if somebody has an ongoing issue that they're
sure.
working on.
Yeah, and I imagine too, something like Reiki, it's going to, over time, like you said, they're not going to walk out the door and suddenly everything's changed in their life. It's going to slowly build up, or they're going to process through whatever they've been through while they were with you. It's something that's ongoing within them that they may feel right away. They may feel it right away, or a few days later, or down the road, they'll be like, oh, I'm noticing something that is changed that was just so subtle, like you mentioned. But then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that did work, Or, and then they might be able to feel that whether it's a depression or an anxiety or something, they might feel that coming back up again after they've noticed that it was dissipating some after they had seen you, and maybe a month later they're like, oh, I feel this coming back up again, maybe I should have another session.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
about right.
yeah, good, good. So do you have anything new that's coming up on the horizon that you want to talk about?
So a couple of things. I'm going to be doing a one-day workshop on tools for resiliency. About a year ago, I did a 10-week online only workshop where I did like a different tool each week. So I'm going to condense it a little bit and just do an in-person and online one-day workshop because I think it's just such an important topic. I want to do it again, especially because I know a little bit more people and trying to get the word out
Yeah.
for the workshop because I think that's so important because some of the tools I have are like limiting beliefs and also the importance of kindness and gratitude and boundaries. So many of these things they seem simple, but they're essential to really building resiliency in challenging times.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Will that information be on your website then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll put on my website when I have the days and the day picked out and the time.
Okay, okay. And we are recording this in February, and this won't be out for at least a few weeks later, but we'll have your website link in the description below. Any viewers, listeners, watchers, please check out the description below. So looking on your website, you have so many different kinds of energy healing and Reiki and readings. There's like just so many offerings on there. I love it.
I got trained in a few different types of Reiki.
Yeah.
I feel like they all blend together because
Yeah.
I just do an opening prayer, and a lot of times either my guides or their guides will show up, or sometimes a combination of the two. So with like angelic Reiki, it's mostly working with angelic energy and angels, but something completely different could come in. Like it could be their guides primarily with my guides and an angel, or so like it could be like a lot of different things that Karuna Reiki, which is more related to Kuan Yin, who's kind of that motherly, kind of more Kuan Yin, that has that kind of energy to it. But
Yeah.
if I'm doing angelic Reiki and Kuan Yin comes in, I'm not going to say Kuan Yin, you can't be here. So it comes up in terms of like guides and energy and what the person's going through and what they're needing.
Okay. You're working with your guides and the I guess, that would be a goddess energy too.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. So another thing about your website is I love all the quotes in there. That's great. I'm such a quote person. And one
Yeah.
of my favorites by Rumi, one of my favorites is the out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, and I'll meet you there. And there's more to that quote, but that's one of my favorites. So I loved that you had that on there. Like, oh yeah, yeah, awesome. Um, so is there anything else that you want to make sure that people know, or anything else that you want to share before we wrap this up today?
Yeah, so I'll be teaching angelic Reiki in a maybe 2 months, and I do level 1 and 2 a weekend, and then a month later I do 3 and 4 in another weekend.
Okay, and that will be in person or online?
Yes, in person. Yeah,
Okay, okay. And where are you located then?
I'm in Sedona, Arizona.
Okay, okay, awesome. Um, so where's the best place for people to reach you?
So my website illuminatepeacehealing.com, and also you can email me at illuminatepeacehealing@gmail.com. So just search my business in Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I haven't done as many YouTube videos as I like, but I'm looking at doing some more of those.
Okay, so you have Illuminate Peace Healing, and that's your YouTube name as well? Okay, great. Yeah, and
Mhm.
then that links on your website as well?
So I have my
Okay.
social media on the header and the footer.
Okay, okay. And again, we'll put all your links below. We won't make everybody just go to your website to find everything, but we'll put all those links down in the description. So I just want to thank you so much for showing up today and for sharing it with us and sharing what you do. And I know that people have learned from you today. So really appreciate it and just want to express my gratitude for you being on. So thank you.